morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Wow, there you are. Okay, if you are a partner who has sponsored Minds and Machines this week, please can you stand? Thank you so much for your sponsorship. Thank you so much. If you are a partner who has not sponsored Minds and Machines this week, I'm just kidding. Oh, some of you did stand. Okay, well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. If you are a partner who's not sure if you sponsored Minds and Machines, well, we have a special session for you later on today. So, hey, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled. You heard Jeff yesterday talk about partners being a force multiplier. You heard Bill talk about one of his top priorities is building the ecosystem. You heard it from Beth. You heard it on stage earlier from Harel with the wonderful relationship we have with Microsoft. So we're thrilled about this ecosystem that's starting to get built and is thriving. Before I introduce our guests, I wanted to make a point. And the point is, in this world of digitized industrial world, you can't just have one category of partners. That's why as we've gone to this ecosystem, we've looked at resellers, we've looked at global systems integrators, telcos, independent software vendors, and technology providers. All of you are so relevant in this space and so important to us. It's also important that whether you're a small, little partner in the UK or in China, or whether you're a big global partner, it doesn't matter. You are so important and so relevant. So it's important that we've got partners from all over the world and partners that also have expertise in all of the verticals that we serve and beyond. So I'm thrilled that we are working so well with you and more importantly, that you have listened to the message of GE Digital and you have come to us in droves. So thank you so much for that. Our three guests represent that. They represent partners from all over the world. They represent partners from different partner categories. And so without further ado, I'd like to welcome Enomoto-san from NEC. I'd like to welcome Marcus Kennedy from Intel and Anupam Singhal from Tata Consulting. Gentlemen, please come and join me. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. So thank you for being here at Minds and Machines. Exciting to have you here. Let me start with you, Anupam. So TCS was really early on board, right? You guys embraced this straight away. Tell us a little bit about TCS and why did you get on board so quickly?
Thank you, Denzel, for inviting us here. TCS is the second largest on the market cap, the consulting firm in the world. And we have about 1,800 customers, and I would say 60% of them are light manufacturing. And when we were looking at the Predix, we've been engaged with Predix for about past 3 years working in GE. And when we look at the Predix, what it does and what the capability it brings, we realized that whatever we do for GE is important for us to take it to the rest of the customer of TCS as well. Because the value what it delivers to GE businesses, similar it can go to them as well. And that's where we believed digital, which we talked about the default in today's world, when the technology is in the front of the business. Technology is no more at the back end. Today, technology is the one which is creating new market for the businesses, is making customer more accessible to the products and services which a manufacturer has. So how do we create a complete ecosystem wherein we bring our expertise in digital, our deep knowledge in the information technology system of our customers, our engineering domain, how do we bring them together to create something which delivers value to our customers? Predix, eventually what it brings to deliver to the customer is the value, how it becomes more operationally efficient. And once you bring all these pieces together, and with the computing power as cheap probably it has never been, it's a great opportunity for us to bring that value and make our customers more efficient, make them more agile, because agile and DevOps is the core of the whole digital technology, making customer get what they want to have when they need to have, and make it in a regular process and regular system.
Great, thank you, Anupam. Marcus, what about from an Intel lens? How do you look at that?
So again, thank you, Denzel, for inviting me. As you said, I come from a small manufacturing firm based in Silicon Valley, and Intel's always, as a component supplier, has always believed in the value of ecosystem partners. We've always believed that the way for success for us is more than just delivering products into the market, a really cool technology, but it really depends on the success that we have with our ecosystem partners in terms of driving predictive value into the market. And so for us, what this represents is just a normal way of doing business in terms of driving value through technology into experiences into the market.
Great, thank you, Marcus. Enomoto-san, you are one of our newest partners,
Yeah.
NEC in Japan. So excited that you've joined our ecosystem. Give us your perspective.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me this opportunity. NEC may be famous as a semiconductor manufacturer in the 20 years ago. And then also we used to provide the home appliance products such as a TV or mobile phone, etc. But today we reshape our company to become a 100% B2B, we say, social solution provider. Let me tell you the one example of the social solution provider. As we say, our mission is to provide safety, security, and then productivity to the society. At the Tigre city of Argentina, we provided a city surveillance system in 2009. Since then, their car theft has dropped by 80% by our system. This is how we contribute to society.
Wow, that's great. We need that in Chicago, I think. Right?
Why not?
But you're not just partners of ours, right? You're partners of each other too, right? So Anupam, you and Intel, you're working on our Greenville project in South Carolina, along with GE Power and GE Current. So tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, it's a great example, Denzel. It's an example of how can you accelerate innovation leveraging TCS Digital Store, which Jeff was kind enough to show it in his keynote. What it brought us, when we look at the problem, we could break down the problem into smaller pieces of it. And then we went to our digital store. Is there something which is available? Can we reuse some of this stuff? And what we realized, there is analytics piece of it, data ingestion, which we can take out from our engine telematics solution, which is on Predix in the digital store. And we can connect all the dots together to bring a solution which can be easily deployed. And what it does eventually is, in fact, I just wanted to say, Bill talked about zero unplanned time, but unfortunately I can't say zero unplanned defect, because what it delivers, defectless delivery, it can cut down the time in producing turbine by 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm not talking about savings from the wastage it can do. So I think it's a great example working with Intel on how can we bring best of the technologies, the thought leadership, how do we leverage knowing the enterprise system, how do we leverage the engineering system which is there, and how can we put all these things together with the digital technologies to make it work for the business.
And to expand on that, I think this particular case was an example of a variety of partnerships that came together to actually drive value into a customer. And in this case, the customer happened to be GE and the GE Power facility. But Eco-Imagination, your Eco-Imagination group helped coordinate the activity. GE Lighting under GE Current was a part of it. Dell out there was a part of it as well. And TCS, as we pulled it all together to actually drive an edge-to-cloud solution real time, was a great partnership. And the one thing I do want to mention is that because we had everybody at the table from the beginning, it actually happened really, really fast. From conception to actual execution and implementation was just a matter of weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Enomoto-san, you also have a long working relationship with Intel. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, Intel and then NEC is leading IT trend in Japan. Our collaboration started in 1982. We developed an PC, which is called PC98, Intel-based PC, and then we have had a #1 market share for many years. And then also in a server market, NEC is #1 for more than 20 years based on Intel technology. So that I'm pretty sure that the IT experience, both Intel and then NEC, and then the combination with the OT experience of GE, will develop an IoT business in Japan.
That's awesome. Thank you. So there's this interconnectedness of the ecosystem that's so crucial to our joint success. So having you now as part of Predix, and the Predix ecosystem is huge, but you're not just a partner. Intel is also a customer. So tell us a little bit about why you chose Predix for your Chandler, Arizona plant.
I think there's really two reasons that we chose GE and Predix for application within our facility. One is who we were partnering with to go and try to implement Internet of Things technology inside our factories, and the other is what we were implementing. For who, what we found out when we started talking to each other in great detail was how similar we were in the way we look at the world and what we value, from corporate responsibility, sustainability, all the way to working together on ecosystem partners and bringing an open partnership together, to actually leveraging our own world-class manufacturing together to be able to drink our own champagne or eat our own dog food, depending on which analogy you like. That kind of a conversation became really easy because we just see the world the same kind of way. So that's why we chose GE specifically. Now, when it came to Predix as a product and a platform, I think Jeff talked about it on Tuesday very well. He said that the Internet of Things for the consumer, which is very different than enterprise, is going to be very different than what the industrial Internet of Things looks like. And who better to partner with on the industrial Internet of Things than somebody who's been in the industrial space for 100+ years, right? And so the operating system for Predix is purpose-built for what we were really trying to accomplish in our factories.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's one of the points that's been made throughout this event. You know, we have the physics, the domain expertise, the digital know-how, and combining it with all of you is just tremendous. Anupam, you guys, as I said, you joined early. You've written a whole library of applications on Predix. Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, Denzel, thank you for giving us an award yesterday on Digital Innovator of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And one of the reasons why it was there is for the TCS Digital Store. And we go long back with GE. We've been working with GE for more than 25 years. And over the period of years, we developed good amount of business knowledge, domain knowledge, system knowledge. And that could enable us, when the Predix came in, we adopted it, and we believed that it can increase the value of what all the systems, disparate system can do if Predix can be on top of it or bottom of it to make it deliver more than what they've been able to do. And as we started doing small applications here and there, we realized we may be doing one for aviation, we may be doing one for transportation, but there's a possibility of what we did in aviation going to the transportation. And that's why we say, hey, you know what? Let's create a digital store wherein we can put all these digital applications which are developed on Predix, which are more than 50 of them. And once we go and visit any specific client executive, we can show, hey, this is what is being done. This is what it could be relevant for you. And this is what the outcome it can deliver. And what we realize, they're so simple and they're so straightforward. The whole acceptance was much faster. And as we were looking along it, we said, you know what? If it could be relevant for GE, it could be relevant for manufacturing sector as well. And we start taking to all of our other customers what we realized, just not the manufacturing. It can be taken to retail as well, because retail uses good amount of analytics, and then we work for one of the retailers in Asia Pacific. And the whole analytics layer, which we can use it over there for their cargo monitoring system for the perishable goods, was an amazing example to do a pilot for them. The power of Predix can be demonstrated to them.
Thank you. Thanks very much. In fact, Enomoto-san, NEC is also a customer of Predix. We're going to build a supply chain application for you on Predix. Right. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, we are going to implement the Predix to our global supply chain. NEC is providing network equipment to the more than 100 countries in global. So the supply chain itself has become more complicated. That's because the network equipment now requires many engineering works at each location, so that at the original plan, we were going to develop our own platform by ourselves, but we saw that the answer is in the Predix, so that we changed our mind. So now we are implementing the Predix to supply chain today, so we save our time.
Great. Well, thank you, and thank you all for being customers. Anupam, I want to go back to you again for a second. You heard Jeff say yesterday on stage, why not us? Right? Why not us? So why GE? And what are your expectations for Predix?
As I was thinking about it when Jeff mentioned, he said, why us? If not us, who else? Because GE has been pioneer in many things in the world. And if you look back, I think it's the whole journey from industrial to digital industrial. And it's just not the industrial digital industrial, it's the whole mindset which we need to look at it. And yesterday while I was sitting, the whole business presentation from the GE leaders has been about technology, digital, about what's going to be the future of heart scan, what is going to be the digital hospital. It's amazing to look at all these possibilities. And if you look at it from what we can do more, today blockchain, in fact, in our booth, we are showing this use case. How can in the energy trading among peer-to-peer, how can blockchain bring that trusted network when this can happen within the consumer itself? What it means for us to have, Jeff yesterday talked about whether it's the prognostic maintenance. When we work with a manufacturer, when the digital die cutter, how can we measure the vibration, the other parameters to proactively tell them what could be the output? Is there going to be defect when the die is cutting a material? What is the top floor to shop floor? What can be the whole plant ops which we can bring in together, multiple systems, whether it's MES, whether it's the PLM, whether it's the ERP? How can we create a single view for the executive to look at multiple of the various parameters which they have? What is a digital hospital? How can, in a hospital, when the assets of the machine and medical equipments can be spread over anywhere in the large facility, how do we track leveraging Predix so that it's available at the right time? So we believe the opportunities, the use cases, the Predix can bring, the value it can bring to the customers, we have not even scratched the surface right now. And we see a huge possibility to work together. And if I can say so, when we were working on Predix, we realized Predix not only does what it's supposed to do, but it also does a lot of visualization, a lot of middle tier, middleware it can provide. So it becomes a complete tech ecosystem in itself to bring solutions not only to itself, to its customers as well.
Thank you, Anupam. Marcus, same question to you.
I think pretty straightforward. Expectations for Predix are to speed up time to market. Yeah. Right? I think the people who will win in this market are those who are able to deliver real, tangible results to their partners, to their customers, the fastest. Right? And if you can tell that story very quickly, then you win. And so the expectations for Predix are to make that easy, right? And for us to do that with you.
Great, thank you. And Emoto-san.
Okay, NEC is also ISV. So we have a multi-dimensional partnership with GE. So we are going to provide one of our AI technology to the Predix. So hopefully all of the Predix users can enjoy our AI technology through the Predix platform. So please staying open. That's my expectation.
Yeah, we're excited about that too. We're excited about it too. Before we go, we have a lot of partners that are joining the ecosystem. Some are joining this week, as a matter of fact. So I'd like to ask you, what advice would you give to our new partners and some of our older partners to make this partnership real success? What are the best practices? Let me start with you, Anupam.
I think one of the things for the partners is you work very closely with customers. And you know your customers sometimes better than anybody else. And once you look at your customers, you should be able to see what is hurting them, what is challenging them in the marketplace, what is not able to make them grow in the marketplace, what is not allowing them to gain market share from their competitors. And I think once you are able to understand those business cases, use cases, I think technology in today's world is much easier portion of it. And then you can look at it, what are the technologies available. And one of the things which we realize in TCS, we have something called co-innovation network. You cannot do everything yourself. You cannot have all the technology yourselves. And that's where we work with these partners. We say, hey, this problem is about 10 pieces. I can do 6, probably 2 can come from, say, Equilum in this case, or 2 can come from somebody else, and together we can solve a large business problem for our customer. So rather than trying to protect what you have, let's be more open, because in today's world, the technology can come every day. It's important to look at what is the business issue and problem which we are trying to address and bring a solution together to make it work with the customers.
Thank you, Anupam. Marcus?
In terms of a best practice for partnering with GE specifically, I'm going to give a shout out here to our alliance manager, Amalia. She's awesome, so I would recommend that you demand that Denzel hire you and Amalia too, because she's fantastic. Beyond just
that was
hiring
a shameless
Amalia,
plug there,
shout
Amalia.
out, plug, I see in the back. Beyond that, what I'd say is that each of us are here because we're successful at doing a thing, at selling a product more than likely, or a service. But when it comes to this new world for the industrial Internet of Things, we really have to work together to come to the table to do something more than just sell a thing together. And a lot of times we've developed a particular core competency that has allowed us to sell that thing better. And for Intel, the way we've been able to be successful with GE as we go down this partnership path is, for us, we've got a top 10 software organization, right, by size. So we have tons of software engineers that we don't necessarily sell as a product, right? And so we bring that competency to bear so that we can speed our time to market for everything that we do together.
Thank you. And Enomoto-san,
Okay.
best practices, what would you share?
Let me say that we set up the COE, Center of Excellence, to maintain a good partnership with GE. That's because things move very fast in IoT world, as you say, new world. So that we need to, catch up everything. So that you should have a person who are fully in charge with an GE relationship. That's the key to maintain a good relation with GE.
Great. Well, gentlemen, thank you all for your partnership, and thank you for your time today on stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much.